that Jesus is the only begotten Son. Begotten, not made. Don't make a mistake. It's not like Adam. Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. He was made by God. Every dog, pig and donkey was made by God. As such, Allah is the creator, sustainer, evolver. He is Rabbul Alameen. But Jesus is not like that. He was begotten, not made. And if words have any meaning, what does it mean? They are attributing to Allah Bari Ta'ala an animal nature, the lower animal functions of sex. So Allah reacts very strongly in Surah Maryam. He says, وَقَالُوا اتَّخَذَ الرَّحْمَنُ وَلَدًا, and they say that Ar-Rahman, the merciful God, has begotten a son. Allah says, لَقَدْ جِئْتُمْ شَيْئًا عِدًّا is one of the most abominable assertions one can make. The worst swearing you can give Allah is this. The worst swearing, you want to swear him? This is the worst thing that you can say. That Allah begot a son. You are attributing to him an animal nature, the lower animal functions of sex. سَتَكَادُ السَّمَاوَاتُ يَتَفَطَّرْنَ مِنْهُ. At it the skies are ready to burst. وَتَنْشَقَّ الْأَرْضُ, and the earth to split asunder. وَتَخِرُّ الْجِبَالُ حَدًّا, and the mountains to fall down in utter ruin. أَنْ دَعَوْا لِلرَّحْمَنِ وَلَدًا, that they should say that Ar-Rahman, the merciful God, has begotten a son. The worst swearing you can give Allah is this. That if the heavens had feelings like you, O Muslims and Muslimah, if the heavens had feeling, emotions like you, to hear such words being uttered, it says the heavens would have fallen. If the earth had feelings like you, it would have split asunder and the mountains fallen down in utter ruin. Such horrible swearing they give Allah Bari Ta'ala. Does it move the Muslim? Not at all. It's not moving anybody. It's an amazing thing, amazing situation. You see, the non-Arab world, the Muslims of the non-Arab world, 90% of the Muslims of the world are non-Arabs. They don't know Arabic. We have been taught the Quran to read parrot fashion. We read it. Sometimes we read far more beautiful than many Arabs, some of our Hafiz and Qaris. But we don't understand a word. So we read these beautiful verses. We don't know what Allah is saying. But the Arab world, more than 100 million of you, you understand what Allah is saying, what He's crying about. And it doesn't move anybody. This is an amazing situation, amazing thing. If any of you, my brothers, you go home and your mother tells you, he says, you know this guy next door, he was swearing me like this. I won't use the words. You know what the other guy was swearing your mother. Or your wife says, you know this guy next door, you know, he was calling me names. I'm asking, can you eat? Can you sleep? No. What do? Say, I want to go and break his jaw, shut him up for good. And if I'm too weak, I say, I hire a gang, somebody to do the job. Now it might cost me 10,000 dirhams. I'll do the job, shut him up for good. No. That's how much you feel for your mother, your sister, your wife, your daughter. And yet we say that we love Allah more than all these things. And yet when they swear him, they abuse him, what happens? Nothing, nothing, no reaction. You know why? The spirit is gone out of us. We are the living dead. The living dead. We are on the Siratul Mustaqim, but we are a dead people. We are dead on the right road. The outsider, the enemy, he is on the wrong road, but he's alive. He's alive on the wrong road. We are dead on the right road. So Allah reacts. Allah reacts. The worst swearing you can give me is this. What are we to do? I said, talk to them. Reason with them. I don't say go and break the jaws. I don't say go and shoot them, kill them, cut the throats. No, no, no. Allah says, Udu ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati. Invite all to the ways of thy Lord with wisdom. Wal maw'izatil hasanati, and with beautiful preaching. Wajadilhum billati ahsan, and reason with them in the ways that are best and most gracious. And I show you some little ways. I go to the West. I go to England. I go to America. I talk to them. I says, you know, English is a foreign language to me, which it is. It's a foreign language. I acquired this, you know, because they conquered my country, and I went to a British colony, so they taught me English, so I learned English. If the French had conquered my country, I would be speaking French. If the Spanish had conquered my country, I'd be speaking Spanish. But you Britishers, you English-speaking people conquered my country, so you taught me to speak English, so I'm speaking English to you. But look, it's a foreign language to me. I want you to help me with your language. You say in your catechism that Jesus is the only begotten Son. Begotten, not made. I say, will you please explain to me what you are trying to emphasize? You are trying to tell me something special. You see, I can call any young man here my son, and I'm sure you won't mind, the child won't mind it, nor will the father and the mother mind it, calling your child my son. But if some person, not knowing our relationship, wants to know, is he really your son? So then I have to tell you, no, you see, this young man, I like this little child. He reminds me of my son at home, my grandchild at home, so I call him my son. And he loves me like a father, like a grandfather, like an old uncle. So he calls me uncle, or he calls me grandpa, whatever. That is a relationship. But instead, if I said, yes, he is my begotten son, you know what I'm saying? What I'm insinuating? Horrible. I'm insinuating that the child is illegitimate. He's not his father's son, he's mine. I'm responsible for his birth. The worst swearing I can give him is that, if you know the meaning. So I just want to know what you are trying to emphasize. That's all. What you're trying to tell me. Please explain. And wallah, I tell you, you won't come across an English-speaking person who will explain to you. There's no harder blow you can give him than to plead with him, please explain, what are you trying to tell me? What do you mean when you say begotten, not made? What are you trying to tell me? How did it come about? Tell me. The nearest, in all my experience, the nearest to an explanation came from an American. See, the American is very militant. Now he is. We must give him credit. He is a fighter. And a fighter is good material. He's the best material to deal with. Not diplomats, beating around the bush and cutting favor with you and patting you on the back. Hypocrites. No, no, no. Let's have a straightforward, a fight, an intellectual battle. And the American is good for that. He's a man. So an American, I had him, with some people as visitors to the masjid. I happen to be one of the guides to the largest mosque in the southern hemisphere in my town, in Durban. And while I was guiding him, this subject cropped up, and I asked him this question, because I was asking everybody, nobody answers it. I'm asking him, this American. I said, what do you mean? He says, when you say begotten, not made, will you please explain? He said, yes, it means sired by God. I said, what? He said, no, I don't mean that, but you asked me what it means, I'm telling you what it means. Now you see why Allah reacts. Now you see why He reacts. Sired is a term used in animal husbandry. You see, they keep pedigrees of horses, and they tell you the father of this horse and the mother was so-and-so, and the great-grandmother of this horse was so-and-so, and the great-grandfather was so-and-so, and on and on. Pedigrees of horses, pedigrees of cows, bulls, the pedigree, where they originate. Who was the great-grandfather of that bull? Where did it come from? The Brahman bull, it came from India, 100 years ago, and from that grandfather we got this, then, and this is his great-great-grandchild. Pedigree. They use this term in animal husbandry. Sired. This cow was sired by a certain bull. That's what it means. This is actually what it means. Now, it is the Judaism. Now, that term, father, is not in the Quran. Beautiful word. But it's not there. I said, that is a miracle. The 99 names are miracle. But you say, look, if you want to discount them, discount them. The miracle is that the commonest, the most readily available, the one that is being dangled before him for 23 years, he doesn't catch it. And he makes us to eschew that word. Don't use it. You say, Rabbul Alamin. He's Rabb, he's Rabb, he's Rabb. He's not Ab. Miracle. Substance of the message. Allah says, another example I give you. أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. He says, do not the unbelievers see? These atheists, these agnostics, the people who deny the existence of God, can't they see? In other words, Allah expects them to see, to be able to see, to witness. أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَنَّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ كَانَتَ رَتْقًا. That the heavens and the earth were joined together as one unit of creation. فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا. And he split them asunder. Who is he talking to? Who is he addressing? Kafir. Which kafir? The Bedouins of 1400 years ago? No. What can the poor man understand? Wallah, what did he know about the universe, about the creations of the heavens and the earth? What did he know? He only accepted whatever was said. If this was Allah's kalam, amanna saddaqna. We hear and we accept, we believe. This was iman that they had. They didn't have a grasp. Allah is not addressing those unbelievers of the times of Muhammad, or the unbelievers in the Congo, or among the Eskimos who might not believe in God. No. He is talking to the men of science, men of learning, who are now expounding to the world the theory of creation. That these astronomers, with the mighty telescopes, when they're looking into space and they're analyzing the movements in the heavens, and they're telling you as if they did it, if they are the ones who are making these things, this machine, this clock to work, this clock of the universe, the way they explain it as if they are doing it. Such a person, with his great learning, he says that this universe came into being with a big bang, billions of years ago. Because he's watching the universe and he's noticing that these heavenly bodies are receding from a central place somewhere, is all going out in all directions, moving away. Like a balloon. When you blow, it gets bigger and bigger. Something like that is happening in the skies, in the heavens. These galaxies, they're receding from us at a faster and faster speed. And once they reach the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. Once they reach that speed, we won't be able to see it anymore, because the light that is coming from there, it won't be coming anymore, it's going away. So we must discover bigger and better telescopes to see the sights, the wonders, otherwise we'll miss the bus. So they say that this universe came into being with a big bang, the Big Bang theory. Who says that? The most learned men of science, astronomers. They say, where did you get these funny ideas from? This fairy tale about a Big Bang. So no, it is not fairy tales. These are facts, demonstrable facts. We can demonstrate it, show you what is happening, and from that we can conclude. If we had a film and put in reverse gear, so we could see what is happening is all coming back again. With the way it's going out, the balloon, if we can deflate it, you'll see it all coming back to one central point. And there was a Big Bang. When did you discover this? He said, yesterday. Because 50 years is yesterday in the history of man. What is 50 years? Nothing. As an illiterate man in the desert, a person who didn't know how to read or write, a person who couldn't sign his own name, he couldn't have known this, could he? He says, no, never. Impossible. Man doesn't know astronomy. He hasn't got the instruments. He hasn't got a telescope. Nothing. In the desert. And among an ummi people, illiterate people. And he is now telling you, this man in the desert, 1,400 years ago, كَانَ تَرَتْكًا فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا. And he split them asunder. And you biologists, people who study minute life, microplasm, the amoeba, he says, life originated in the sea, water. Without this water, no life. And they tell you, says, look, we look back in time, in space, he says, look, this is how life originated. There was a time when this earth was a molten mass. Nothing could have survived here, everything boiling, and over a period of billions of years, the vapors went up and came down, and the vapors went up and came down and started cooling this earth. It took billions of years, and then started life, germs, plant life and all these things started. At one time there was nothing, and then it started. Where did life come from? He says from the sea. Certain chemical actions, the sun playing its